Welcome to the Cozy Little Library today with your Clean Reads Book Buddy. I am opening up my reading journal and you're going to get a fun peek inside several readathons that I'm doing, their graphics, their prompts, the books that I'm matching to each one. Here are just a few of the books that are on my June TBR.
Very good, very good.
Multiple genres. Wait until the very end if you want to see the books that are on my Red, White, and June Readathon TBR. Let's get into it. Reading the books of the Bible is top priority, so we'll start with that. I have been enjoying going through a chronological reading of the Bible and then coloring each of the books as I finish them. And according to this list, I should be spending a lot of time in the book of Acts this month. For Alma's Journey Through Time Historical Fiction Reading Challenge, June's prompt is a World War I or a World War II book. And the other day when I was out, I found this one just for this prompt. I got so excited. On My Honor by Patti Smith Hall. This is book number 1 in the Heroines of World War II. Isn't this beautiful? You can see the planes there. It's not that long at all. But our main female character, I believe, is asked by some naval officers to keep an eye out into the ocean for some German U-boats, and I think her little sister maybe is a Girl Scout. She gets them involved, and then there's a guy that is a British reporter trying to track somebody down. It sounded really unique, a little bit adventurous, and what I'm hoping is a more upbeat book for this era. Really excited. For Anne's 1776 Read the Classics Challenge, June's prompt is a classic from an American author. I'm using Johnny Tremain by Esther Forbes, written in 1943. Esther Forbes was from Massachusetts, so we're counting it. I'll talk more about what this is about at the end. For Jane's Christian Fiction Bingo, June has 2 prompts to fill. We have summer in the title or set in summer and a booktuber rec. So for the summer prompt, we're going with Sparks Over Glenwood by C.P. Cabanis. This is a clean contemporary romance that starts in early summer and builds right up until the 4th of July celebration. He's caught in a world of indecision. She's the spark to give him direction. This is an advanced reader copy. It is supposed to be published on June the 9th. Side note, this will not work for my Red, White, and June readathon because it is contemporary. However, she is a history buff, very, very into Revolutionary America history for her state. You can see I've already started. I'm only halfway through. We'll let you know. For the booktuber rec, I heard Jamie Gordy, brand new to YouTube, by the way. She mentioned For Liberty and Love by Shanna Hatfield that is releasing June the 16th. I plan to start that on that day. It sounds so very good and I'm very excited. For Cheryl's Jurassic Reading Challenge, the June prompt is Spinosaurus Water. We're just going to say that On My Honor will definitely fulfill this prompt with the Atlantic Ocean right there, but I do have others that will work as well, so this one will be easy. Next up is a Picnic in June readathon put on by the Lucy Chronicles, Kansan Reader, Kay's Library, Reed Brucey, and Lindsey Lou Lemus. The first one is What Are You Eating? I chose Kay's prompt, Baked Goods, a character that bakes or cooks. And I know in Sparks Over Glenwood, our main female character bakes cookies. What is the setting? Lucy's prompt is Pink Lady Slipper, a book about bravery, sacrifice, or a pink cover. I have an advanced reader copy of The Bachelor Spy by Pepper Basham that is to be published on July the 1st. So I'll be reading it in June, and there's some intrigue and mystery. So I'm guessing there's some bravery in there somewhere. What animals do you see? Jay's prompt is a snake, a misunderstood character. I'm going with Love's a Mystery in Cape Disappointment, Washington by Leslie Gould and Elizabeth Ludwig. This is book number 2 in the Guidepost Love's a Mystery series. You've probably heard myself and Alyssa from Alyssa's Faith talking about this series. The first book was Love's a Mystery in Sleepy Hollow, New York, and it's one of my favorite books with no murder, but just mystery, which is perfection. Alyssa has excited me to continue, and I'm very, very excited to go forward. This one is in 1899 about a female reporter. Her uncle is a lighthouse keeper on Cape Disappointment on the Pacific Ocean. That's all I need to know. So very excited about this one. What books did you bring? I chose Lindsey's prompt, which is historical fiction. I've already already talked about several historical fictions that will work, and in a second I'm going to talk about a couple more. And then what else are you doing? Tea Party is Jamie's prompt. And I've already started Freedom's Light by Colleen Coble. I heard about this recently from Christy. In one of the first chapters, the two ladies are drinking and loving their tea. Victoria over at Hot Cocoa and Books has a summertime bingo, and this one is all summer long, but I can already see a couple that I can fulfill with the books that I've already mentioned. We've got Ahoy, a ship or boat on the cover. Johnny Tremaine has a ship right on the cover. And then we've got a bicycle on the cover. On My Honor has our bicycle there. And then we've got a sea creature and character goes away on a trip. Freedom's Light will fulfill both of those. I'm sure the other ones will be super easy to do too. Island Vibes, a summer sport mentioned, relaxing mood read, a wedding, and a gathering with food. I will put a link to Victoria's announcement video as well as the other booktubers that I've already mentioned. Before we get to my Red, White, and June TBR, let me share with you a couple books that the covers were just too beautiful to pass up. Whispers of Fortune by Mary Connolly, new author to me, but look at this book cover. Gorgeous. Looks like it's Golden State Treasure book number 1 in a series of 3. I have already started it, just a couple chapters. It is very interesting. This is 1875 California, and our main guy is looking for his brothers. They have taken off, and when he finds them, they are thriving at this ranch that is led by this woman named Ellie, and she is resilient. She loves the land that she's on, and so that's all I need to know about that one. This one is A Token of Love by Carrie Taransky. This is a dual timeline, 1885 London. The main woman is looking for her niece that I believe was abandoned or something at this place, and then in present day London, the woman finds herself in charge of the family museum. I read The Legacy of Longdale Manor with my Patreon group, and we loved that book. It was so interesting. Both of the timelines were great, so I'm excited to read this one. Now for my Red, White, and June Readathon TBR. If you are not familiar with the Readathon, I will have info about it in the description box, co-host links, and a couple of playlists. So the Revolutionary America books I'm going to read, The Signers, the 56 Stories Behind the Declaration of Independence by Dennis Fraden. One of my Patreon members and friends, she let me know about this book and I was so tickled. For Pennsylvania, we have a little snippet about what was going on with Pennsylvania at the time, and then we have several men that signed the Declaration, and then we get a little bit about them, and then each one, so we'll look at one that's not so famous. Each one will either have a nickname, something that they said, and then we get to see what their signature looked like on the Declaration, images about them, and then it goes on to the next one. A nonfiction prompt, and really it should fulfill all of them except maybe the petticoat. The next definite is in the My America series, book number 3, When Freedom Comes, Hope's Revolutionary War Diary. I have thoroughly enjoyed the other 2 books in this series, and this one should fulfill all the prompts. Another definite is Whom Can We Trust Now by Wendy M. Nugent in the History Detective Club series. This is book number 5. Book number 1 started in 1774, and now we've made it to 1780 in Williamsburg. We've gone through all of the events with Rose going back and forth from present day Williamsburg back to colonial Williamsburg. This one, we've got somebody who is feeding the British vital information and is not supposed to be. This one should fulfill all of the prompts except for the fate that endures. Another definite read, Paul Revere's Ride by Xavier Niz and illustrated by Brian Baskell. I learned about this series from Kelli. She talked about the Boston Tea Party one. I would like to collect all of these. They look like a whole lot of fun. Just the Minutemen in general, very, very special to my heart. the mission, the lanterns. If you know, you know. Do you know what the significance was with the lanterns? Put it in the comments below. Anyway, this one should work for all the prompts except maybe the faith and the courage in petticoats. We'll see. A bigger read that I am definitely reading in June is Washington, A Life by Ron Chernow. I have already started it. It is very interesting. Now it's going into every single detail about everything, which I really like because I have not read an exhaustive, comprehensive book about Washington yet. I've read about his wife and everybody else and little snippets for as many years as I can remember, but I'm very, very excited about this one. And this is just an absolutely gorgeous book. This one is going to take me a while, but I do have the mission to finish it in June. Of course, this will fulfill the nonfiction, but I have an idea that it's going to fulfill all the prompts because I'm sure, it's going to talk about his wife and everything and the spies, the spy ring, just all the prompts. So excited. Last on the definites list is Johnny Tremaine by Esther Forbes. Johnny is a young silversmith's apprentice. Something happens that changes everything for him, and he finds himself right in the middle of the rising tensions of the Revolutionary War. So we hear and see Paul Revere, Sam Adams, all the things are going on around him. I actually did a reread already of this. I started it on June the 1st and finished it. I'll have to think about it, but it will probably check off all of the prompts. Definitely a classic. On the maybes list, we have 4 books by Jean Fritz. I've always thought her illustrations were so funny and engaging. We've got And Then What Happened, Paul Revere, Where Was Patrick Henry on the 29th of May, Will You Sign Here, John Hancock, and Can't You Make Them Behave, King George. They look so fun. Another maybe is Guide My Pen, the poems of Phyllis Wheatley. I always love reading about her. This one is by Greg Rosa, Great Moments in American History. I would love to know even more about Betsy Ross, Flag for a New Nation. And last but not least, I would love to read My Dearest Friend, The Letters Between Abigail and John Adams. It is quite lengthy and does span over many years. Of course, all of these would fulfill the non-fiction prompt and the petticoat one for sure, but I am certain that John and Abigail, they will fulfill all the prompts. If you are still here, give me a coffee emoji and let me know what is the book you are most excited about to read in June. Until next time.